It all started in the 1930s, early 1930s, when a young assistant professor at Harvard University failed to get a visa to the former Soviet Union, but did get a visa to the former Yugoslavia. And you might say the rest is history. His name was Milman Parry, and what he managed to do, and this is a perfect example of proof of concept, is that he proved, although he didn't know it at the time, that Homeric poetry, the language of the Homeric Iliad and Odyssey, derived from oral traditions. His student, Albert Lord, lived for a very long time and became a giant in the Harvard community. Parry, unfortunately, died young. Lord had to pick up the pieces, and in 1960, he published this very important work called The Singer of Tales, and I love the title of that book because there are few languages where the word singer has performance built into it. To sing is to perform. Lovely title. Anyway, if we fast forward from Albert Lord, people like me and Leonard Milner were his students. And we can tell you many anecdotes about how he would get very sensitive about words like improvisation, because too many English speakers think of improvisation as making things up as you go along. And the medium that we're studying is just the opposite. It's one of the most precise, beautifully precise languages ever devised in a tradition. And it took 1,000, 1,500, maybe 2,000 years to get to where it is in the textual tradition that we study. Some of the key words in our project: formula, which is, shall we say, the building block of Homeric poetry as a form, and theme, building block for this poetry on the level of content. So formula and theme. You'd be surprised how many people, if they don't really understand how to read this text as the result of a formulaic system, how many people just miss the boat about what's going on in the text. The text is just the surface. It's underneath the surface that we see the system at work. The great French linguist, Antoine Millet, once defined language, almost in a playful way, as un système où tout se tient, a system where everything holds together. I could quickly give you counterexamples like what the great American linguist Edward Sapir said about language. All languages leak. So there's a balance between the two, but it is a system, and that's part of the nature of the beast. A system is a structure where things hold together, but there are leaks. And in any case, that's the way people like us read Homeric language, which drives the composition that comes down to us only in the text, because we don't have, unfortunately, survivals of the living performance tradition.